I mean, surely. I can't read this damn thing? I really thought that was going to be the linchpin. Maybe it'll be useful later.
Yes!
So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I placed you in. Huh. So the testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence we have to support their statements as well. I keep bringing this up. As clearly as can be seen, there is only a single beef steak on the victim's table, a meal for one. No. Huh. The antique dealer, the sergeant, and the waiter who testified before. It's not impossible that they're all lying. But if so, then why? If I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea.
Therefore, no one other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out!
Yes!
Why aren't you telling the truth?
What? What did you say, cadet?
I clearly remember. There was a woman sitting across from the table from the professor. Perhaps one of you might not have noticed. But for both of you to have failed to see the professor's dining companion, it's just not possible.
Unfortunately for you, Defendant Naruhodo, it's not just a case of these two witnesses alone.
Sorry?
The waiter whose testimony the court heard earlier clearly stated the same thing. He also said that the victim was alone.
That's right. Precisely. In other words, you are the sole proponent of this phantom lady. But I... If such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. But if no such proof exists, the prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. It is a blatant waste of the court's time. There's nothing I can say to that. Huh. So that's all depressing. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Well, yes, but I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. I wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card you got before. Oh, you mean this? Yes, this is a brand new piece of evidence. So perhaps we should examine it a little more in more detail. I'd love to. How exactly? Here we go, finally! You'll notice some pieces of evidence bear a magnifying glass. These are the ones you may examine. Press A, and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Use right up, right left, right down, right right. Ah. To rotate the evidence in all directions and examine it from all angles. By using the left stick, up, left, right, down. Here we go. Yeah, that's it. Step one. You can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues that may have been missed before. If the crosshairs start to pulsate, press A to investigate further. Ah, here we go. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned by examining it in more detail. Alright, I'll see what I can do. I use right stick, left stick, and A to inspect any areas of the evidence that look suspicious. Oh, sorry, I'm no choice but to do the medical report card first. can't find anything out of place. Yeah, fair enough, Tugsnor. I'd hate to spoil it for you. I'm probably going to be doing more streams of this game in the future because I want to... Now that I started streaming this game, I'm probably going to finish it. So hopefully next time I stream, you'll have played a bit more of the game and I won't be spoiling much for you. Take care, Tugsnor. Alright. Oh, hang on. It says clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? Are they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. And I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. Buh! I'll never forget it. Never in my whole life! See you, Tugs. Most people would give their right arm to have had only one cold in their whole life. Anyway, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. Anything on the back? Oh, hang on, we can... It looks like this medical report card was first issued quite some time ago. It's probably a record of long-term treatment. No, it's very pleasing. It's also a nice change from the main series games. Like I'm really enjoying the changes that this game has made. It's probably a record of long-term treatment. That's why. With a family doctor, I imagine. I can't imagine going to a doctor. I mean, as long as I'm alive, I'm never consulting one. And if you were dead, there'd be no point. So you don't like doctors then? Why would you? Why would you? They make you drink horrible tasting medicine, they give you painful injections, and then they demand lots of money from you for the privilege. All when you're at your lowest ebb. Sound like a model patient. With a bad case of stubbornness, no less, for which the only cure is very bitter medicine indeed. Hey! I knew there was a point to all that. Alright. What do we got? This is bound to show up something. What do we got? Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, and there's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar... Ah, here it is! Here it is! Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. Extraction of molar? You mean he had a tooth taken out? This is where it's going to be. He couldn't have eaten a steak! It would seem so. Just before the incident, she'd had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice in the West for pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. You go adult. Yeah, go adult. See you, David. It's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you feeling pain. There's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours until post-procedure, until anesthetic effects have passed. There's our contradiction. He couldn't have eaten a steak. Really? Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. Updated the court record. Done. Alright. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. So I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. Not yet. First thing I want to do is... check out the back side of this business card. Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga. The Wade is an undercover cop. I didn't see that coming. Yeah, not at all. Well, that's unexpected. What is it? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Satoru Hosonaga. Well, yes. Business cards do tend to show the person's name, that's sort of the point. It's not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title. His job? Oh! Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector? What on earth? I have no idea. But let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence, if they're wielding it somehow here. What does that mean? Alright, let's check out the seating arrangement. Yeah, I know. This plan at the restaurant raises a number of questions, I think. Definitely! It's supposed to show the relative position of everything in the moments following the incident. But there's nothing to show the woman you say you saw there. Exactly! And that's not all. Look here in the upper left, where it says kitchen. Oh yes, what of it? No one would use those complicated characters to write kitchen, especially if they were in a hurry. You mean you don't remember those characters yourself, do you? Study harder, Yunosuke. Alright, well, we got something from that, even if it wasn't what we thought we were going to get. Alright, where's the steak bit? Is that one or the other one? This is the only one that fits.
Yes!
When are you gonna say objection, Naruhodo? Well, I think, I've been doing nothing but the lawyers for a long time.
About what are you mentioning, lad? Call yourself a lawyer?
I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Ryunosuke, everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. Thanks, Kazuma. I could see it quite clearly in that cross-examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Don't feel like you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. Alright. And thanks for the advice. Here we go. Ooh. This is new. Kurohito-san, this is a medical report card belonging to the victim.
Ah, I see. And I don't see. What of it, boy?
Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement, something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection!
Dear me. Have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. But that's, Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is surely no need to prolong this trial further.
Remember.
The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for the simple reason that there is no one else besides this pale-faced pupil who could possibly have perpetrated the crime. Oh. This medical report card has nothing to do with the case? Do you really believe that? What? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hotta Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. The dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted.
What's this now?
And furthermore, if I told you that as a result, the victim had been forbidden from eating.
No, just that's what you were trying to say, Claudette.
Claudette.
You had orders what to eat, so what?
It's all written up in here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't! Korokuta-san! Right, boy! What? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No! Additionally,
There's more!
you have assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. But that cannot possibly be the case!
No!
Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and was still experiencing the effects of the anesthetic.
No!
Expertly done, partner.
Objection!
Right. What is this nonsense, you little upstart? Here we go. Putting up the music. We're getting close to the objection theme. These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food at the victim's table.
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in this restaurant's case have turned. Wouldn't you agree, Ryunosuke? Huh? Yes! Most definitely!
So having just undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who in fact was eating the pictured beef steak? The court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I assume you're ready, counsel.
Counsel? No, that means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it! So, the person eating the steak at the victim's table must have been... There are two possibilities. It could be the third party being the lady, or it could be the beefsteak eaten by the soldier dude. I think it's important that they establish the beefsteak so early on as being eaten by the soldier, and now it being a beefsteak here. Do you think third party? I'm thinking it's the soldier. I think this is a different table. I'm thinking that the placement of the tables has been changed, and this is where the soldier and the witness and the old man sat. The soldier eating his steak, which was established earlier. Two witnesses. I'm sure that's just like a way of just saying it to make it clearer. Because if they just said the witness, it could be like, which witness? It doesn't look. I don't think it's gonna be a penalty because it's not showing up the flashing thing. So I'm gonna go with my gut and just click the two witnesses button. Nah, that's not confident. The wet fish slap was immediately. This isn't right. I bet it was the sergeant of the antique dealer, Nurse-san and Korokuta-san.
Ah!
No.
Are you taking the cake, cadet? You think I'd share...
So you were right. You were right all along.
You think I'd share rations with this decrepit greybeard?
Insult me by associating me with this brutish carnivore, would you? You were both present at the scene. Neither of you can deny that you had the opportunity.
You out-of-brain idiot! I had my own regulation beefsteak set before me at my own table! And then as any soldier with assault will tell you, you'll seize whatever rations are put in front of you. In which you will need to reconsider your answer, counsel.
Okay. Of course, Your Excellency. Yeah, I thought they dangled the steak earlier for nothing. It was the third party. That's better. Obviously, it could only have been someone else who was seated at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person!
Yes!
There was, because I saw her! When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything, yet we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, the only logical conclusion is that there was somebody else there eating it. No. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witnesses' testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial. Relentlessly! Kazuma! Are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, Counsel. I have no issue with you. What do you mean? I have issue with them! Those two witnesses in the stand! What?
What are you talking about?
We've demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. So, if it now turns out that the two of you deliberately lied when giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Well, that would be a fucking first in this game. In this entire franchise. No one's ever been charged with perjury.
Perjury?
And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in the murder? No! Was there a conspiracy by the undercover cop?
No, negative! There was no mention of this at the tactical meeting!
Oh.
I was just following orders!
I reckon the undercover cops told them to silence. That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Conspiracy! No. What? What did you just say, Karakuta-san? No! You were just following orders? No, hold on, lad. I was, Say you never saw the gentlewoman.
No.
When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
No, too late, Ouchie. What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? No.
Just one. Just one simple. Slip of the tongue!
Ah, what a twist!
Roger! Counsel, explain what is going on here!
It's painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not! The prosecution knows none of this! Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouths shut? Well,
That's classified!
So you're prepared to be tried as a conspirator to this murder, are you?
You wouldn't! This can't be happening!
Ryunosuke, judging from the way that they're reacting to this, I say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe Ouchie had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there are only a handful of possibilities. It can only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. ACAB. Well, any ideas about who might be behind this? If we can affirm we tried to silence these witnesses, then we can continue our pursuit. So we need to know whoever it was that tried to make these witnesses keep their mouths shut. I know exactly who it is. Of course, we need evidence before we make any firm accusations. Evidence that proves whoever it was really did wield his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly? Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. We're so ahead of this game. Oh yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? We need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we missed. There's no time to lose.
I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe.
No, please, wait. Your Excellency, I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing.
And what does the defense have to say about all this?
Well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just going to have to close my eyes and shout out the first thing that comes into my head. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is... Actually, now it's showing the little, the symbols at the top, so this one will penalise me if I'm wrong. However, I'm not wrong. I know exactly who it is. It's Satoru Hosonaga.
Yes!
Well, surely that would be... Satoru Hosonaga-san.
Hosonaga-san? The waiter who took the stand earlier?
Objection!
Poppycock. What possible reason would the waiter have to make these witnesses give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even a head waiter could not possibly have that level of influence.
For once, I would agree with you. If, that is, the man truly were a waiter.
What? If he truly were...
Come on, Ryunosuke. Time to hit this court with the truth. The truth about Satoru Hosonaga-san's real identity, as proven by this evidence.
Yes!
Say objection already, you coward!
The plan of the restaurant sketched by the man in the question? I agree, it shows a great deal of attention to detail, but I'm not sure we can conclude anything.
Sorry, Your Excellency, that's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest.
I beg your pardon?
Or perhaps I should have said, the front. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's what the telling detail is. Oh, Ryunosuke.
Brr. Would somebody please explain what this overexcited student is trying to say?
Hosonaga-san sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of that business card reveals the man in the question's profession. His true profession.
The waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious!
That's right, Your Excellency. The card reads, Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau.
What? The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before?
The Imperial Police Bureau has immense power. Absolute power as far as regular civilians are concerned. So, witnesses there in the stand.
Brr.
Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention that you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene?
Well...
The waiter?
Oh...
The organ! This must be the Tell the Truth theme. Oh no, I've heard this before. Is it the Tell the Truth theme? Yeah. Inspector Hosonaga! I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketch as evidence, I realised it was a possibility. That's right, yeah.
The court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence.
Oh, well...
Is there a problem? Hand the plan to the court officer at once.
Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. I strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. It was an unusually careless mistake.
So, you mean to say you really are a detective?
Huh. I love this music! But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course! Your salary is so terrible! I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get a job there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidents? That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Are they though? Are they though?
Very well then, Inspector Hosonaga. But you will elaborate on one point for the court.
Of course, Your Excellency.
We have just heard new information from the two witnesses beside you. That at the time of the shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. If that is indeed true, clearly you would also have been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony does not allude to this either dinner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as police officer, you require these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct?
Yeah, thanks for letting me clear my throat. Correct, Your Excellency. Oh. Unbelievable! Huh, as I suspected. Bang. As soon as I heard the gunshots, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair, and beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim at the same table was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. So the truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the Bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say, remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once? It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman? But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interests not to pursue that idea. I think it might be in our best interest. Huh! The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. I see, yeah. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishman as the primary suspect. Well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. I figured that'd be it. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the phantom woman in this case. But it's not right! Huh.
Yeah.
Brr.
One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean, Kazuma? Yuma University is currently hosting a number of exchange students from Great Britain, and I'm fairly certain that one of them, studying in the medical faculty's research laboratory, is a young Englishwoman. What? You're a shrewd man. You're a shrewd man. I can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. You mean... when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime... I thought it prudent to check her identity first. I mean, I don't have multiple voices for women in my voice acting repertoire, so it's handy to me that it's been predominantly men so far.
And the court demands you name the lady in question at once, Inspector.
The Englishwoman sitting at the university professor's table was a Miss Giselle Brett. I don't know the pun there either. She is indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of Yuma University's medical facility.
What is happening here?
American, doesn't matter. I admit that under orders from the Police Bureau, I erased all evidence of the city's presence at the scene, and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in their testimonies. It must now be up to Your Excellency to decide how to deal with the situation.
Very well. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we have now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
But Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain. Our own government will surely be very displeased by such actions.
Calm yourself, counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom.
Yeah. A judge with some spine. That's a rare occurrence in today's attorney.
No.
Inspector Hosonaga,
Yes, sir.
you will locate this Jezzael Brett and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency.
At once, Your Excellency.
But that means we're going against the special orders we were given from the Police Bureau.
Huh. As I said before. Absolutely. It is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So, it won't be a problem? Jesus. Nothing will get in my way. Another king right there.
Court will adjourn briefly. The prosecution must call the English student, Jezzael Brett, to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear?
Yes. Your Excellency!
Good. Then we'll have a 30-minute recess before reconvening.
Thank God, to be continued. Okay. I am adoring this game so far. I love my stream is currently ending myself. I'm ending the part here. We're gonna do part 2 of this case some other time.